have come up, but if you look back, the EC has asserted its independence in situations that usually you might think that, okay, it's going to dialogue, it's going to find a political agreement on what steps should be taken forward. But working through IPAC has been very difficult, you know that, and sometimes IPAC has even had to take votes on critical issues that needs to be resolved. So given what transpired before the elections and where we've gotten to, what if the EC does not respond positively to what they've said or doesn't take action on that? What do we do? And I think that for us, if it's possible to do it quickly and peacefully within the EC, and the EC will respond and answer some of the questions, because even if the EC is independent, it also has to be, sorry, I had my mask on. If the EC would also listen and find a way of responding, that would be helpful. But we should also entertain the possibility that it might not. What do we do? And this is why we think that probably both tracks should be pursued. You only go to court when other avenues are shut or are not effective. The issues we're dealing with ought to be responded to quickly. We do not have a lot of time for it to drag on. And we believe strongly that the EC should also hold itself accountable and respond to things that it can respond to assure Ghanaians the propriety of actions it has taken and the fact that, yes, the electorate, they created all the conditions, and so maybe some of the questions being raised are not valid. I think some more conversation is needed. I know that Kodeyo, for instance, had asked the EC to speak to the public about some of the mistakes made in reading out the statistics on the turnout of voters as declared and so on. Yesterday there was a statement I read on the media. So we are not the only one, but I think ultimately we've been also guided by what happened in 2013, that the audit of some of the ballots was authorized by the court, and our understanding is that every decision the EC makes is grounded in law. And some of the results are also grounded in law. They are gazetted and all that. So it takes the Constitutional Court and its, other courts to act or to interpret what needs to be done. Otherwise, the EC keeps asserting it, says, well, in discharging my functions, I'm independent and no one could dictate or whatever. So it's the court that has that power and that authority. That we saw in 2013, the EC practically complied with what the court directed. And where it did not, people went back to the court and further directives were given. So let us not leave out the courts. The courts are important. Yes, many people are skeptical whether our courts will be fair and so on, but I think the courts go beyond individuals. Probably their proceedings, when they are open to the public, everybody comes under some amount of pressure to do its work professionally and respond to the issues of interest to the public. So let us not rule out the courts so that we find ourselves in a situation where we are so helpless, we feel we should resort to violence. So both tracks are not contradictory, and I think that's what we've said in the statement. So let's go forward in that. It's a good thing to demand, and let's get the response. That's our position.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akwete. I think